797. We've been talking about the flooding all day. I got a live report earlier from Mama Kay, who is frequents our Twitter pages here. She said that she drove down Kirkwood, down 44 from Kirkwood, and 44 was dry, but the traffic's starting to back up on Bowles, out onto 44 already. And that's just a glimpse of what's going to happen if 44 shuts down at some point. We know 141 is closed down. There are reports that former House Speaker Tim Jones has been out sandbagging today. Not that he doesn't do that all the time, but he's joining us on the phone right now. Tim, how are you?
Well, Mark, I'd be better if I was sandbagging on a golf course.
There you go.
But unfortunately, I'm literally standing on top of sandbags on Central Avenue here in Eureka. A lot of folks know in our listening audience that when I was Speaker of the House, I had a little political office out here in Eureka in a building that my friend owns, Patrick Butler, 125-year-old building down on historic Central Avenue. I still have that office. We still use it for good, right-thinking folks to have meetings there, debate watch parties, whatever. Mark, we just finished putting the last touches on from the last flood, and unfortunately yesterday we ripped up the hardwood flooring, stored it upstairs, and we're putting the pumps in as we speak. It is a pretty rough scene. I will say this, though. Huge thank you to the Eureka community, all the Eureka High School and middle school kids out here today, all the Sacred Heart people, all the other churches. There's a huge disaster relief response. If people want to come out, we can use you for sandbagging. We don't need spectators though, so please stay away if you're just driving by to see how high we stack the sandbags. But we could use helpers out here in Eureka, Missouri, and I know there's other places along the Merrimack River Valley. Valley Park, Fenton, Pacific that could use the same.
Well, I think that's great. Do you mean to tell me those kids at Eureka High School got a day off school and they came out and helped you sandbag? That speaks pretty highly of them.
Mark, there are the football teams out here, the lacrosse, the soccer kids, the cheerleaders. We've got them all. And my daughters yesterday, they're in middle school. They helped us carry stuff up to the second floor of this building we have so we could store things. It's a pretty wild effort. I've lived in the Eureka area since 1976. Went through the 92 flood. The 93 flood didn't affect us as much. We just had the 2015 flood. So I guess I'm a flood veteran, unfortunately, but we're doing what we can. We're doing a lot of things differently this time. We learned a lot of lessons from the 2015 flood. We're using a lot of pumpers this time. We've got some experts on scene from SEMA, state management, from FEMA, from the fire department, all the other disaster relief services. I can't even name them all. And they're helping us with the channeling, with the canaling, with the pumping, and we're gonna try to work with Mother Nature to kind of keep the water flow as low as we can in the buildings if possible. And Mark, we all promised to build a wall this year. Well, we built one out here in Eureka. That's where it is.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Just to remind people, I know you guys were out there and you did this in 2015, and the water still breached it. So are you fair? I mean, I know you moved the hardwood floors and everything. Do you have some confidence that maybe you've got it defeated this time?
Not really, Mark. I
No.
can tell you they're projecting the same level pretty much as last time, which was historic flood.
Oh.
I don't want to throw stones or anything, and I'm not a hydrology expert, but the 82 flood, which was a historic flood, was the last time we had this issue. After the 93 floods, where we did not have this problem, there was a massive levee system built downriver from us in the Valley Park, Fenton area. We haven't had a major incident since 2015. So I don't know if those levees are too big or too high or contributing to this. All I know is the last time we had this was 82. We didn't have this in 93. We've had it twice now in 18 months. So what I'm saying is we're going to have to come up with a better solution out here for this community because, Mark, my office is a meeting place. I'm more worried, again, about all the restaurants and all the stores and all the people that are going to now have to potentially rebuild, or worse yet, they could just give up.
Sure.
And we're experiencing thousands of dollars potential damage, hundreds of thousands of potential damage out here, and lives. We're talking about lives and people's livelihoods. So we can't keep doing this every 18 months just because it rains a lot for 3 days. So we're going to have to look at some other options.
Yeah, I wondered about that myself, and I worry about what do insurance premiums do when you get hit twice in 18 months with flooding?
Well, Mark, a lot of people, they're going to say, hey, what are the taxpayers paying? Let me tell you, there's very little taxpayer money involved. SEMA and FEMA come in after a disaster. They dump some dumpsters, and it's great help, right? It's all the crude cleanup. But after that, if you're a business owner, pretty much it's up to you, because you've probably heard the old cliche about flood insurance. It's true. It really doesn't do much. It's really hard to get. It's extremely, extremely expensive. And it's really much on the backs of these small mom-and-pop business owners. Joe Bacardi's, Odell's Irish Pub, and all the Chickenelli's, all the little diners and the shops and things around us here in Lower Eureka on our historic Central Avenue district that was, founded about 150 years ago. So,
well, I wish him the best of luck with that. Tim, if I can move you on to the subject of politics for a moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's talk about what's going on at the Missouri legislature and the fact that, as I reported on Friday, there are a handful of Missouri senators who've decided that nothing else is probably going to get through the Senate unless they get their ethics reform package done. Where do you stand on that?
Mark, I have no problem if they want to try to make the system more transparent on things where it should be more transparent and things like that. But, Mark, let me tell you, right now, I can tell you that using where I am right now, there is nobody within a stone's throw of me that could give a rip about what they're arguing about right now on alleged ethics things up in Jefferson City. What they're worried about are things like rebuilding communities,
right,
whether it's after a natural disaster or after an economic disaster, which we've been dealing with for 8 years of failed Obamonomics. They care about jobs. I salute the legislature for the first half of their session. They passed right to work. They passed significant other labor reforms. They were working on some tort reform measures which have passed. They've worked on some education reform measures that are passed. But, Mark, I can tell you, they're using catchphrases like ethics reform and stuff to hide personal agendas. And there is a you-know-what match going on between our governor and a couple of state senators on this ethics thing. And, Mark, as I was texting you last week, I was listening to your interview with Bill Eigel. Bill Eigel really hit the nail on the head. These alleged dark money bills, let me tell you, George Soros and the radical left would like nothing other than for the state Senate to keep, some of the state senators to keep pushing 501c4 disclosure. Let me tell you who's against 501c4 disclosure. The NRA. The NRA came out huge on Friday with a massive national blast saying how dangerous that is. This is, Mark, C4s are the last bastion of freedom of speech for conservatives. The left has the media, they've got the unions, they've got so much in their arsenal, whereas, all these groups, the Heritage Foundation, the Cato Institute, ALEC, the NRA, Americans for Life, all of the conservative groups, all of the issues relating to the Second Amendment, relating to life, you pass these C4 disclosure bills, and you're going to severely harm the conservative voice and the right to have the freedom of political speech in this country.
Wow. In the
Mark,
issue,
there's a lot more to this than everybody's
right,
got their little catchphrase and their talking points, but there's a lot more to this than what people are saying.
And the issue that gets down to is if that's not included in the bill, some of these guys aren't going to agree to pass it, and it's plugging up anything else getting out of the Senate. So hopefully they can get that worked through, because it would be a shame for us to finish and not at least get a few more things out of the Senate, like this preemption for the minimum wage. I hear that's tied up down there too. Yeah, in St. Louis.
You know what, Mark? Tony Messenger. This will really hit your home with your audience. Tony Messenger is on the side of all this stuff, and all this disclosure stuff. Tony Messenger is more interested in attacking legislators and lobbyists versus doing things to create jobs, push back against this horrible minimum wage hike in the city of St. Louis, which is going to drive all those businesses out to the county or maybe out of business. Tony Messenger is against all the things that we want to have passed right now, and he's for all the things that are clogging up the system and causing the Senate to come to a screeching halt.
Well, Tim, listen, I appreciate diverting you to politics for a few minutes, but I know you got your hands full out there in Eureka, and tell all those folks thanks for their efforts, and we'll say a prayer for them.
Hey, Mark, thanks. Hey, Mark, if you want to come down tonight and sit in a lawn chair with us and smoke a cigar and drink some bourbon, we're going to watch the water rise and keep the pumps going.
If I could get down there, I will. I guess I've got to have to figure out how to get down there.
Yeah, and County Councilman Mark Harder standing right next to me. He said, "Come down and throw a sandbag or two with him." He's got his galoshes on.
There you go. All right, Tim. Thank you. Tell Mark I said hi.
Thanks, Mark.
All
I
right.
appreciate everybody. There's a lot of people in your audience out helping today, and we really appreciate that, too. Thank you.
You bet, Tim. Thank you. Former House Speaker Tim Jones down in Eureka. What a great community effort. And they know, ultimately, the odds are stacked against them if they get the same level of water they got in 2015. So let's hope that works. Let's hope it works this time and they figure out what the problem is. 314-969-9797, 866-455-9797. If you're one of those people who's out there volunteering or looking for somewhere to volunteer, or you're seeing these similar problems again in 18 months, we'll get to your phone calls today. Call us at 314-969-9797. Tell us your situation. 866-455-9797. That, much more, your phone calls. We'll get Tony Colombo in here. It's all coming up on The Mark Cox Show.
The Mark Cox Show on FM NewsTalk 97.1, 98.7, AM 1490, and 97.1talk.com.
Watch The Mark Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
Some great new deals for you at the Range St. Louis West. Maybe you've been to the Range. Maybe you've looked at that great indoor shooting facility down there, and you wanted to get a membership and you just weren't sure. Well, they've changed now the way they're handling their membership program, and this is important. So members-only perks include monthly discounts, rewards on firearms and ammo and more. You get priority reservations if you want to go shoot. You can even pretty soon do online lane reservations, which is really cool. And your range fees are waived for the day that you sign up. Here's what they're doing. They're starting a monthly membership plan, an option where you can, starting at $25 a month, that includes those reduced range rates, the ammo savings, the training savings, and then those members-only bunker bonus specials every month at the range. And members-only specials for May, for example, half off training courses. You can retake any training class for free. That's why it pays to be a member at the Range St. Louis West out in the 14,800 block of Manchester Road in Baldwin. Be sure and check them out. Go online, look at their training classes, and more details on the membership program at therangestl.com.
It's been said that home is where the heart is. To Lakeside Exteriors, home is more than a place to lay your head. It's a place to dream. And we are driven to protect that dream we started years ago.